Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Friday, which means we have to play some more Ace Attorney, and hopefully we'll get Miles out of this nightmare he's gotten himself into with this case. Hello pigs. Also, I would like to thank a poster for the follow that was happened 14 hours ago. Yeah, favorite game of all. It is, it's been a wild journey and we're still not done with it. We are still not done with any of it, and I just want to get straight into it. Just do some relaxing and play finished. It is fun. Let's see, so we're back in the special cell. Judge Courtney, what are you doing here? Questioning a prisoner. Did you forget that we're investigating as well? Or rather, have you forgotten my warning? If you value your badge, you should not have appeared before me again. I'm sorry if you thought that I would abide by those words. I won't overlook something important just to heed your warning. I've come for testimony about the truth of this case which you have overlooked. You mean to say you require my humble services? As I promised, I'll return you whoever you are the culprit. Interesting. Do tell. Objection! Before that, you should first listen to our reasoning. We can say with confidence that Simon Keyes is the culprit. Only Simon Keyes could have moved Mr Knightley into the prison. And we can show proof of this fact. But first, I'd like to hear your resolve, Prosecutor Edgeworth. If our reasoning is correct, will you submit to us your prosecutor's badge? You'll deprive us of a badge? Is that a threat, pal? Oh, ow. Okay, so I need to avoid tightening this bottle too much because my grip is abysmal tonight. After training, I actually had a I was doing some tidying up the kitchen a little bit by fixing all the cartons we had for a while, and I just tried to rip open the milk cartons, and it was like all of a sudden just both my arms just this jolt of pain, and I had to sit and just stretch it backwards for quite some time before I could move them again. That was very unpleasant. I mean, I knew it would happen when I went into climb yesterday. I still did it, and I will do it again because climbing is fun. It's just that this is what happens when it's been, 5 years since I last did any kind of bouldering. So my grip strength and my arms just dead. No, it's not a true threat. Rather, it's an act of compassion. Normally, I wouldn't even have taken notice of you since you have no right to investigate. However, if you are able to show proper resolve, I would be willing to let you be my opponent. Are you willing to risk your prosecutor's badge? I mean, I do like her outfit. Her outfit is great. Mr. Edgeworth! Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Very well. I trust my own reasoning, but moreover, at the moment I am currently a defense attorney's assistant first and a prosecutor second. Hello, Knight. How are you doing? I will not sully the good name of the Edgeworth law offices. And I intend to see my job through. I won't yield to your threats. So be it. Is this bravery, or is it simple foolishness? On the goddess of law's behalf, I shall be the judge of that. Sebastian, allow me to... yeah, I got it. I'm counting on you, Justine. Yeah, Miles is great. I presume you know of the incident Mr Knightley caused the day before yesterday. He attacked a guard and stole his keys. Afterwards, Simon Keyes stopped by his cell with an animal cage from the show. During this time, Mr Knightley was able to use the stolen key to exit his cell. He then hid in the cage while it was being moved to the prison workroom. So, Mr. Keyes went to his cell after all. After hearing you talk about the security camera yesterday, we investigated it ourselves. Why? Don't you have a look? I have here a printout of the security footage. This is the moment when Keyes visited Mr. Knightley. Exactly. As you can see, the cage creates a huge blind spot in the cell. By using this blind spot, Mr. Knightley could have entered the cage. That is our reasoning. A blind spot. That means the camera doesn't actually show him entering the cage. At this time, there is still a possibility that Knightley never left his cell. What? But why would he be hiding inside an animal cage? Oh, Mr. Knightley was planning to escape from prison. That's the only possibility. A prison escape? That's so cool! First, Mr. Albert, and now Mr. Knightley. I won't let them show me up. Okay, this is the time to get excited. J. Albert's escape is no laughing matter. Simon Key was aiding Mr. Knightley in his escape. Why? In other words, he was an accomplice. Not bad, Simon! Don't praise him! That cage was transferred temporarily to the workroom. Originally, Mr. Knightley was to remain hidden until the end of the animal show. He wouldn't then be carried out along the cage. I presume that was the plan. However, midway through the plan, he was betrayed by Simon Keyes and murdered. Judge Courtney's reasoning does appear to make sense. You know what? This isn't the judge's job. I mean, we are literally in the middle of the dark age of the law here. As Felix puts it in Apollo Justice. This is the dark age of the law. In the middle of this is Edgeworth, like being the big shining light, keeping it together. No, yeah, it probably did, but it feels like this is like a prelude of the dark age of the law. Like this is all just culminating into it, you know. However, there must be a hole somewhere. I must not overlook anything. I do like her hair.
Hold it!
Judge Courtney, about this incident, you don't know of it? Oh, the becoming of you, Ace Attorney, Miles Edgeworth. Naturally, I know of it. However, you said it... In that case, this is a waste of time. I shall continue. Mr. Knightley.
Hold it!
Do you have proof Knightley stole the keys? It is the only explanation as to why Mr. Knightley would have attacked the guard. We will know for certain the moment the guard regains consciousness. Is that really true? Should I ask Judge Courtney for more information? There is one point in your reasoning that is odd. If Knightley did indeed steal the key, I'd expect him to try to escape immediately. Was it really necessary for him to wait for Mr. Keys for help him escape? He simply chose the method with the highest probability of success. After stealing the key, he concealed it on his personage. As he waited for the opportune moment, that is what I believe. What? I mean, sure. Suffer. He concealed the key. Judge Court, such an oversight is unlikely. Knightley couldn't have concealed the key, and I can prove it. Knightley would not hide the key, and the proof is the key itself, because we don't know where it is.
Take that!
Hello, outsider. Haven't the guards informed you yet? They searched Knightley after you attacked the guard, and then the key was nowhere to be found. Since the key's location is unknown, your logic doesn't hold. That is not an issue. There is an explanation. Yeah, I wonder who that devil was. I wouldn't call it suffering. I mean, I love the series. Mr. Knightley had the key. It simply wasn't found. The reason being, he concealed it inside this chessboard. The chessboard? You mean the one that concealed the murder weapon? Come on! How do we know whether or not the murder weapon was really there? Yes, Pix. The thing is, though, I'm gonna be waiting with the last two because, first of all, it is a different timeline, if you will, and second of all, the second game isn't fully translated yet. So it's gonna take a little while before I get into those two games there. I will get to them eventually, but when I'm done with Spirit of Justice, I do want to take a break from Ace Attorney for a while, because it's been a lot of Ace Attorney last year. What? Take some responsibility for your own words! Oh, that was all Sebastian's idea after all. So, those two don't always agree on their reasoning. In other words, once we put all the pieces together, Mr. Knightley concealed the key stole from the guard inside the chessboard. When Simon Keyes arrived, Mr. Knightley used the key to slip it out of his cell. But the thing is, though, that there is no blind spot here. Yeah, we don't get to see. Well, I guess it can be a blind spot if you just slides the thing out. Yeah, it'll be a blind spot. You can just like go to the lower side there. He entered the animal cage and was transported to the workroom. All thanks to his accomplice, Simon Keyes. Mr. Knightley had planned to be carried outside after the show had ended. However, he was betrayed by his accomplice and murdered during the circus performance.
Objection!
Mr. Keyes performed in the show. He would have had no opportunity to murder him during the circus performance. No opportunity. Is that so? A story plays itself out on the stage. And such was the case with the animal show. So, she should examine the contents of the show. Helicopter mom. She's really one. I feel for you, Pix, I really do. The suspect plays the role of the villain who antagonizes the elephant heroine. In the final act, the villain is defeated by the heroine's love and it all ends well. At that point, the suspect, in the role of the villain, is blown away by the heroine's burning love and that makes his exit. Blown away by the elephant. Was he hurt? After being blown away, the suspect disappeared from the stage. The suspect was absent from the stage for about 15 minutes. Are you saying the crime was committed during that time? Even in such a short period of time, it would be still possible to carry out the murder. Don't you think so? Objection! So, he committed a crime in 15 minutes and then returned to the stage? That may have been possible if the crime scene had been the prison. Judge cautioned, the actual crime took place in the detention center. I'm afraid I can't accept that camera footage as load as evidence. As for evidence, I haven't. Well then, please, show us your evidence. Where is the evidence that shows the scene of the crime was in the detention center? So the problem with this, with this tunnel footprint is that it only has the dog. So personally, I wouldn't say this the dog, this one. By the way, how is the audio? I mean, last time I took a check on the audio, and I was really low compared to the game audio. So how is it? Okay. I was gonna do a little thing just in case then. Let's see. Turn down the volume a little bit on the. Well, I'm gonna boost myself up again. Like this. So I don't really think it is like it wouldn't make sense because this is dog prints. So how is it now in comparison? Meanwhile, I'm just gonna check on this. There's also this one, the stolen uniform. No. I mean, I guess. I mean, it'll have to be this one. Take that! This is the floor? Oh! Goddess of law, I am unable to comprehend your mysterious ways. This is what we discovered. The area here was tested positive for Mr. Knightley's blood. This blood test can't really be trusted. To begin with, how were you able to conduct a scientific investigation? I happen to have a subordinate. I can't vouch for his competence, but he is a man I trust. Oh. That detective. This concerns me. I cannot think why one would disturb the order of law. The prosecutorial investigations committee's influence goes as far as the police department. Got me in trouble! Forgive me, detective. I'm afraid something bad may come of this. I will accept the fact that the blood was found in the detention center as evidence. However... How ridiculous. This is unthinkable of you, you third-rate prosecutor. Mr. De Best, you're here. I had completely forgotten about him. It's such a shame. I mean, come on, I want more gumshoe. I mean, I love Emma. Emma is great, but she is no gumshoe. There's a giant contradiction in my statements. According to the security tape, a dog killed Knightley in his cell. Then, after he left the cell, the blood on the floor was wiped away. Aha! Did the dog wipe away the bloodstains? As if that could happen. That is possible. My Anubis. Right, boy. What? That was one of the tricks I taught him while I was still out in the outside world. He makes sure to hide any blood signs he makes. As not to leave behind any evidence. I was saved, but if only by chance. Shouldn't you have thought your dog to shake or something? Anyways, also performs that trick very well. But the shake I taught him is a little bit different from others. First, he bites the victim's hand. Stop! 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 I don't want to hear anymore! I see. I understand. Prosecutor Edgeworth. It appears you've gathered a good hand. I'm glad you understand. My argument isn't over yet. Objection overruled. Hey, now, it's a little harsh. Sebastian, would you allow me the privilege of explaining? Sure, Justine. Do you finally realize? It's like, just be silent, kid. The adults are speaking. The murder occurred in the detention center. Therefore, that assassin's dog. My opinion has not changed. Unless I can understand how the dog was able to enter and leave the crime scene. I'm afraid I cannot accept your logic, Prosecutor Edgeworth. I've been waiting for you to say that. Now, let me show you. This evidence shows the route the dog used to go between the detention center and the prison. Take that. I guess not. Take that! This photo. It shows a secret tunnel between hidden in the prison. That's impossible? A secret tunnel? This tunnel was dug by the escaped prisoner J. Albert. It begins in his prison cell and is connected to a holding cell in the detention center, namely the victim's cell. I am shocked. How did this... Dogen, you must have known of this, since you used this tunnel to commit murder. In the name of the goddess of the law, I hereby reject Prosecutor Edgeworth's claim. Hold it! What do you mean? Evidence is everything. That remains true here, just as in the courtroom. Isn't that right? I have evidence here. Horace Knightley's autopsy report. I can't hear you over the sound of my updated autopsy report. Autopsy report? Since when? Why are you surprised? This was delivered straight from the police a short while ago. It is not complete yet. More of a preliminary report. Here, the very words of the goddess of law is written. Cause of death, stabbed wound to the neck. Died instantly. The murder weapon? Sharp metal object. Lady, what's to say the dog doesn't have sharp metal object for teeth? Because that is in line with Ace Attorney. The victim was stabbed multiple times in the same spot with a sharp object. All the more reason to think that dog has knives for teeth. Although they were unable to determine the actual shape of the murder weapon, they have a clear proof it was a sharp metal object. So, do you still stand by your claim that a dog used a sharp object to kill the victim? This can't be. That is all. The court is adjourned.
Objection!
But wait, the tunnel contains the dog's footprints. Perhaps it may have been one of Anubis' walking courses? I can never tell what Anubis gets up to outside of my cell. Something feels unnatural about all of this, but I have no evidence. Gordon High, you sure pulled a hidden gem at the very last moment. She waited for the perfect time to reveal the autopsy report, just like yourself, Edgeworth. I'll let her outwit me again. Appointed Attorney Shields. Here is the autopsy report from earlier. I apologize for the delay. No, it's alright. Thank you. I gladly accept it. Mr. Shields, I don't believe it is necessary to hold hands while exchanging documents. I'd advise you to stop. Persist any longer and I shall call upon the strength of the gods of the law. I'll be careful. Justine, well done. Just as I planned. I only acted in accordance with your instructions. The autopsy report came straight from the police. I can't refute it. However, if the murder weapon wasn't the dog, Dogen will be cleared of suspicion. The merciful goddess of law so decrees. If you choose to yield now, your badge will not be taken.
What will you do, sir? She says that, but...
My answer remains the same. Judge Courtney, it is as I said before. I will see my job through. I will not yield to threats. So, now, you still refuse to give up. If you want to keep your badge, this may be your last chance. Right now, I'm a defense attorney's assistant. What I protect is not my badge, but my client. The goddess of law grows weary of your sentiment. Now we're talking. Miles is starting to understand that defense attorneys never give up. Actually, those were the words of your old man. My father. It really is in your blood. You're a spitting image of him right now. You said it yourself. You've changed since you were tainted by Wonkai. It is only now that I've actually come to believe it. Mr. Shields. Well then, Miles. Now the time has come to put those skills to the test. Think you're beyond your limits. If the murder weapon was a sharp object, does that really negate your reasoning? Oh my god, this is a good song. Oh, I love this. I think this is the first time this has been playing. Oh my god, it's so good! The murder weapon was a sharp object. That's it. There were 5 chisels placed inside a special cell. Dogen is a former assassin. It's quite possible he could kill someone with just a chisel. In that case, the murder weapon that killed Mr Knightley was... Is that all? Well then, I suppose you're giving up. Evidence is everything. Didn't you say? The murder weapon was a sharp metal object. However, such a weapon has yet to be found. What? So what are you trying to say? Only decisive evidence is actually... the only decisive evidence is the murder weapon itself. And that was in plain sight this whole time. The real murder weapon is Dogen's chisel. What'd you say?
Overruled!
Take responsibility for your own statements. The scene of the crime was Mr. Knightley's cell. You said so yourself. If the evidence changes, then so will my logic. That too is courtroom procedure, is it not? Oh, rip. I love it though. If the chisel was used, that means the killer was human. However, the fact remains that we can't deny the security photo. Yeah, what about that photo? I'll give you the answer. This photo shows the moment. Wait. Are we talking about... which... Let's see, where is the footage? This one. Wait, this photo shows... Oh, right, this photo. Okay. Oh. Yeah, it has to be the security footage, because I don't have any other photographs. This photo shows the moment the dog leapt at the victim, rather. Dogen's dog leapt at Knightley. However, the victim did not die at that time. Didn't die. He was only knocked unconscious. The dog didn't move a dead body. It moved the unconscious Knightley. The real killer was its owner. Well, I see. If the victim was moving, it could have been possible for Dogen to commit the murder. And use the murder weapon! Indeed. The killer is Sure-Hand Dogen. It can only be you. I bet your teacher used to write on your report card. Who was it that used this quote again? Like, which character was it that said these words? Like, your teacher used to write on your report card to Phoenix. Was it Godot? No, I don't think. I'm not sure if it was Godot. Yeah, I can't think of who it was. No. Need to pay more attention on what others say. I think that describes you more. Ah, yes, absolutely, Peg. It was Atme, Detective Atme. Thank you. We examined that room. Every nook and cranny, right, Justine? It's on the wiki. We examined all 4 of Dogen's chisels. And found no traces of blood. Thank you, Judge Courtney. Thanks to you, I am now certain. Thanks to me? Whatever you do mean. When I came here earlier, I saw 5 chisels. That's right! There were definitely 5 there before! Oh, so the one that disappeared was? The smallest one. Presumably for portable use. Dogen, where is that chisel? I'm not free to leave this place. I have no need of a portable chisel. Not free to leave? In that case, he mustn't have been free to hide the deadly chisel either. Dogen, you just dug your own grave. Yeah, it does. It seems you know something. Would you care to show it? Like, The only place you can, like, it's inside here. Dogen is a prisoner, so he can't leave his cell freely. Perhaps he could have sent his dog out to dispose of it, but he would not have been able to confirm the weapon's location. So what does that mean? Above all else, special metal tools are allowed in this cell. Even if one chisel were to appear here, no one would suspect a thing. You'd be a fool not to take advantage of that. Oh, I see, of course! It's safer, always safest if you do something yourself. But I examined everything! I didn't find any hidden places in his cell! Objection! I'm certain that the murder weapon is here. Can you downscale, perhaps, outsider? That is, of course, if Twitch allows me, has given me that. Because, like, downscaling the stream is a Twitch thing. They do by allocation. The reason you haven't found it yet is because it was cleverly hidden. Yeah, downscaling is sadly something Twitch does. It's so annoying though, that it's so, like, random, because sometimes I have it, sometimes I don't. Most of the time I don't have downscaling. I don't know how it works, to be honest. Yeah, but it's because it's so, like, they do it by, like, allocation. I'd probably be able to do it if I had, like, if my stream was more popular. I think it's like they do it by, like how popular people are. So, yeah. So the more popular you are, the higher chance you have it to get the possibility to downscale your stream. You say I hid it. Where exactly? Think. Where could I have hidden it? I'll have to remember everything up to this point. There must be some clue. Ah, does this mean what I think it means? Come to think of it, that dog hasn't barked at me once today. Previously, when I came to this special cell, it barked on Dogen's command. That's it. That's what put me out of place. There's just one place you could have hidden the murder weapon. Giving up already? How dull, how dull. Hold it! I will present evidence. This piece of evidence shows where you conceal the murder weapon. Take that! Has your dog been awfully quiet today? Now that you mention it, it hasn't barked at all. That doesn't make sense. Sharon Dogen, open that dog's mouth now. I know this doesn't bark needlessly. I ordered him to do that before. In that case, order it to bark now. Naturally, you should be able to, if you have nothing to hide. It was inevitable. Anubis, show them your mouth. As you can see, a dog on this side can easily conceal a small chisel. What? But why a chisel? That dog really has one in his mouth. I thought he was unusually quiet, but was he unable to follow the discussion? Lasagna. Lasagna is tasty. Sebastian, Could you call for forensics department? Urgently, please. I got it! A reaction! The chisel tests positive on blood. What? I guess that just proves my theory wasn't just nonsense. No, why would this chisel be the murder weapon then? It reacted positively for blood. There is no doubt about that. Yeah, this is... I mean... It's a bit short. Mr. Dogen, now that the murder weapon has been found, I must ask for your testimony. We know how your dog got to the detention center, and we found the murder weapon. Do you still think you can talk your way out of this? Interesting. This guy! Even a time like this, he's still smiling! Well, what is this? It seems everyone has become suspicious of you. So it's quite troubling, but since we've come to this, we have no choice but to tell the truth. I did not kill anyone. I have long since grown weary of killing. What's this? His face looks completely composed. It seems we need to listen to Mr. Dogen's explanation. Please, promptly give your testimony. Certainly. First of all, no. I was trying to get a better experiment a little bit with how I articulate people to get some more character. First of all, I would like to explain my motive. I do not know the name of anyone named Knightley. We share no connection. So I wouldn't think some motive of murder would appear just out of nowhere. Are you insinuating my noob had a motive? The only basis finds other than my command. But we do know that you know. I do not hunger for blood so much as to kill a man I don't even know. Coming from an assassin, that sure is persuasive. An assassin who only kills acquaintances. I doubt that would be profitable. Well, I may kill strangers in my line of work, but I never make it personal. Is there evidence that shows the connection between Knightley and Dogen? I should thoroughly review the evidence once more. But there is. We have that connection though, because... this one and this one. Objection! Huh. You lost your touch, Sir Dogen. If you had your dog clean up after you, you should have disposed of this too. This is a record of a correspondence chess game found in the victim's cell. This record and the chessboard in your cell both clearly depict the same game. What? I've heard the number of possible chess position is around 10 to the power of 120. That's a lot of zeros. That's... I mean, it's not that has to be more than the amount of molecules, atoms in the universe, you know? 10 times 10s! 120 times! 10,000, Is that even a real number? Indeed, there's absolutely no way these two could have coincided by chance. Tell us a reason for killing Knightley, unless you intend to explain this as a coincidence. Well, don't they say that the truth is stranger than fiction? That is especially true for Ace Attorney. It is, as you said, is merely a coincidence. But there's no way that could happen. My correspondence chess opponent was the victim in this incident. What a horrible coincidence. Aren't you shocked too, Anubis? Anubis, my... Looks like I have to tell them the truth, Anubis, my boy. The animal show or something. That was when everyone left. Anubis brought the body to my cell. He had already been stabbed in the neck with a murder weapon. I didn't wish to be suspected, so I had Anubis carry the body to the workroom. After that, he pulled out the murder weapon and returned to me. So, you're saying the one who pulled the murder weapon out was Anubis? That's right. If I pulled out the murder weapon here, the blood would have been a problem. Mr. Edgeworth! Isn't that one that sword guy side? A large black dog. I see. So that means Saw had witnessed the moment the murder weapon was pulled out. Oh yes, that prisoner's testimony. It surprised me when I first heard of it. It is not often that the Anubis makes a blunder like that, right, boy? Now, I believe that explains my actions. I did not kill him. All I did was remove the murder weapon. Now, will that be all? Anubis is getting so tired.
Objection!
I just can't get over how deep that objection is. I mean, I could probably get down there with some effort, but I'd probably strain myself. I mean, I can relax my voice tremendously to get really deep, but I don't think I'll be able to sustain it for long. Yeah, that is a voice with chest hair. Well, there, just a moment, Mr. Dogen. Yeah, this song is great. On that note, I think I have this song in this, let's see. Yeah, I have the orchestral version of this song in my Spotify list. It's so good. I love it. It's just like, I mean, okay, let's wait a minute then. Wait, what's this? Okay. Okay, that is concerning. I will have to check that later. It's just so good. Mr. Shields, isn't there one thing you haven't explained? Let's see what loops here. Have you seen that? It's so good. Why do you need to pull out the murder weapon in the first place? That's right. I understand why he'd move the body to draw suspicion away from him, but he didn't need to retrieve the murder weapon. I thought you were just a fool, but how quickly his scent has changed. Because I think at least that this is this one. No, this not this one. No. Seriously, is it not here? No, it's not. It wasn't like they hit. Why isn't his song like an orchestra version of it? Because it's so good. Why isn't there an orchestral version for him? That makes me sad. Care to elaborate, Mr. Dogen? It was because of this bell. The bell attached to the murder weapon, and the bell on my dog's neck. Fair enough. They share a distinctive shape, wouldn't you say? The assassin Sherhan Dogen's trademark. An assassin's trademark? The blind assassin, Sirhan, he always appears to the sound of a bell. The sound of a bell ringing in the dark of night is said to be the last thing his targets hear. You remember well. It has been a while since you last saw my bells, after all. When I prosecuted you in court, I confiscated a knife with a bell attached to it. Yes, my bells. There are only 2 in the world. Only 2. They're custom-made, attached to my knife and Anubis collar. Even though I can only rely on my ears, I can easily identify them. Alas, one has been confiscated and has not been in my possession. When Anubis brought the boy here, I heard a familiar sound. I thought my knife must have been embedded in the body. So I imagined my confusion when I found that there was merely a chisel with my bell attached. Indeed, your knife is nothing like this chisel. Either way, those are my trademark. Is it though? I mean... Do we have the record? I mean, if I could have the record of his, No, I don't think it's the Rancho de Tagarasu key, but, I mean, it is not... It wouldn't be unreasonable for the, Okay. So it wouldn't be unreasonable to like re-grind this thing into the knife into a chisel. We'll do that. We'll do the that song for the outro today then. Although it's tied like this. The spell, it's the same one attached to Anubis' collar. Yes, it's an assassin Dogen's trademark. An assassin with a trademark? What an odd combination. Don't you think it's similar to the great thief Yatagarasu? Mr. Edgeworth, you don't understand anything. A great thief has to stand out! Why would a thief want to stand out? Do we have a recording of his knife? I don't. Moreover, the only one in the prison who uses chisels. With all of this, I knew I would be forced to suspect her. So I removed the murder weapon and hid it.
Hold it!
So, you claim that you only moved the body. Didn't I tell you? The chisel isn't mine. If you think I'm lying, go ahead and check for my fingerprints. Sebastian! Oh, me? But how do I check for? Forensics. Yes, ma'am. Reaction. We have fingerprints. They're Knightley's, Justine. What about Dogen's? Nope. Just Knightley's. And there's no evidence of prints being wiped either. Only Knightley's fingerprints. It can't be. Should I re-examine it? See now? I never even touched that chisel. Because I ordered Anubis to carry it in his mouth. In other words, the fingerprints belong to the chisel's original owner. The murder weapon's own owner was the victim. This is perplexing. At any rate, I didn't touch the murder weapon. In other words, the killer could not have been me. Isn't that right? I'm nothing to refute that. How could this... Is he really not a killer? Could Dogen's testimony actually be true? This can't be. It seems this is sufficient to enough not to warrant any further explanation. As it stands, you have not changed the state of this case. I believe this is more than enough reason for us to relieve you of your badge. To save any needless fuss, I suggest you hand over your badge right now.
This is bad, sir. They sound serious.
It is regrettable, but with those prints as decisive evidence, I'll have to rethink my logic from step one. But there's still many unexplained things. Why would Mr. Knightley be carrying a chisel? It could be used for many things. Perhaps even in prison escapes. Well then, how did he carry it into prison? I mean, the prisoners aren't even allowed cutlery. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth? Even if your reasoning is off at first, you shouldn't let that confuse you. The most important thing is to arrive at the truth, isn't that right? It doesn't matter how you get there. And the end result is to save Simon. We have to do everything we can for his sake.
Well said, Kay.
Nice one, Kay. I really want to scout you for the law firm now. Remember when Uncle Ray said a defense attorney never gives up? Miles, do you understand the true meaning behind those words? Okay, I'm gonna check in the meantime what's going on my Discord. I like this. This is kind of nice. Just give me a moment to respond to some things there. The true meaning of those words. The defense attorneys carry the fate of their clients on their shoulders. You are the only person your client can rely on. Just like with Mr. Keys, we're the only ones who can save him now. We're linked by the fate of our client. That is why we must never give up. There's no way Uncle Ray can go against the teaching of Gregory. So, what will you do? Currently, I'm a defense attorney's assistant. No, an assistant at my father's firm. I have made my commitment to this case, therefore, if I don't save my client, I cannot say I've achieved it. I will abide by this, to save Simon Keys. No matter how many times my logic fails, I will always find another possibility. Okay, you're finally back! Well then, let's search for that other possibility. To start with, do you think there was a way Mr. Knightley could have brought this chisel into the prison? The method Knightley used to bring the chisel into the prison was... a chessboard.
Take that!
Normally, metal objects can't be brought into the detention center or the prison. They'd just be caught by the security gate. However, if there is one way to avoid this, and that is if they're sent in by package to the detention center. Yeah, so I like Courtney. From a character design standpoint. As a person, like a personality, school's still in session for that one. Or court is still in session for it, I guess. Which I realize is a terrible pun. But oh well. That's what the saying is. Knowing this, Knightley asked Simon to send him a package, namely a chessboard containing the chisel. Well, this has now solved one of our problems. The fact that this chisel was not Mr. Dogen, but Mr. Knightley's. All puns are bad pics, don't you know? Given this, one major issue remains. The security camera shows the dog attacking the victim. As long as that exists, I will maintain that Dogen is the killer. But Dogen never touched them that way. I'm stumped. We also desire a conclusion to this matter. Mr. Edgeworth, we can use one of our secret weapons, sir. Secret weapon number 4. A video analysis analyzing machine, Mr. Analysis. What? What's with that ridiculous name? I named it myself, sir. This let us analyze video footage in detail. Otherwise known as a just going frame by frame? I don't know. Go ahead. You'll see I'm not lying. I don't know what will come of this, but all we can do now is investigate. Mr. Edgeworth, do you know how to use Mr. Analysis? A video analysis machine. Should I hear how to use it? Yeah, sure, let's go. Detective Gumshoe, can you show me how to use it? Of course, sir. Edgeworth. The detective music. Gumshoe music. It's so good. I love it. Fundamental is the same as investigating a crime scene. Just examine anything that piques our curiosity. To examine, press the X button. Now I'd like to take a look at the buttons below in the monitor. Rewind and fast forward, respectively. Let the button as it pause, blah blah blah. Make good use of it in our investigation, sir.
goes in previous frame to the next frame. Just use the same left and right buttons.
Yeah, so Gumshoe always pulls through, that's the thing. Like, in the end, Gumshoe pulls through, but it's his just everything. He's a sieve, like when it comes to keeping secrets. Wait, we can zoom and enhance? We can zoom and enhance! Oh.
After you zoomed in, you can examine it like you would in the original image.
Okay.
I start off his analysis. Use him as analysis to investigate the suspicious part, sir.
I believe this was the moment when Knightley was being attacked by the dog. If that's not the case, then what does it show? Is the person in this video really Knightley? And what is... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I should check the video and try to find the answer to these questions.
There could be unexpected things in the unexpected places. I'm sure we'll check every nook and cranny of the video, sir.
Wait a minute. A reflection of this person can be seen in the mirror. Is that a cap on his head?
Actually, it looks kind of like caps that the prison guards wear, sir. You don't think it was a guard who was attacked?
Have you received the report of any guard being attacked by an animal?
Oh, I've heard, sir.
There was someone else wearing a guard's uniform. I see.
Take that!
There was no report of a guard being attacked by an animal. However, we did hear that the guard's uniform was stolen. Putting two together, I'd say this was a disguise for the purpose of a prison escape.
Disguise the guard? That sounds like it could have been successful, sir. Speaking of a prison escape.
Okay, so I would reckon that prison guards would, know who is like everyone else in their shift to prevent this kind of thing. Especially in a prison like this where the staff is kind of small. There's kind of a small staff here, Yeah, also AA universe. Indeed. That person certainly was successful. If the person in this video is not Knightley, then perhaps the Black Shadow is not a dog either.
You you should be able to see its real shape, sir. I need to find out who this man is specifically. No, come on. I was supposed to assume there. This is... I fear I've made a grave miscalculation. This animal, the silhouette, no matter how you look at it, it is not a dog. None of these really. I guess a bear would be the closest. Oh yeah, it is a bear. Makes sense when I think about it. From this silhouette, I'd say the animal is not a dog, but a bear. So then, in that photo I took, those footprints must belong to this bear, yes. Which is the, and the bear is the companion of the boxer guy, Jailbird. Jailbird. Huh? Did you say a bear? Yes, that mine is the first to come to mind. We were all under the impression that the person in this video was Knightley. But it is hell after all. Why would it be anyone else? That line of logic no longer holds. Remember the tunnel underneath his bed. It is possible whoever used this tunnel was one in the video. It seems the only time to answer that question. Just who was the person in the video?
Take that!
The person wearing the guard's uniform is the escaped prisoner J. Elbert. The probability is extremely high. His pet is a polar bear cub. But the bear hair is black. We have evidence that can explain this matter. The reason the bears became black is... I mean, it's dirt. No, it's because of this one.
Take that!
Think back to Frank Sawyer's testimony. During the animal show, the source was applying mud packs to the animals. So then, among those animals, was this polar bear, yes.
Overruled!
Prosecutor Edgeworth, there is a huge contradiction in your argument. The security camera footage. Judge Courtney, you are quite right. Sawyer used the mud packs during the animal show. Well, there's a new contradiction in the video comes to light. A new contradiction? Okay. Do you know when this footage was taken? It was after the mud packs were used, it would be around 9 AM. In that case, you should have noticed something strange about this video. Huh? What's strange about it?
Take that!
The time saw it covered the polar bear in mud was around 9 AM, which means this video should have been taken at 9 AM. However, the timestamp reads 6 AM. Close to 7, but hey. On that day, the prisoners went to the courtyard to watch an animal show. At this time, only 3 people remained behind. Dogen, in his special cell, saw it in the workroom applying his mud packs. And the one who put his escape plan in motion at the moment, J. Elbert. Elbert left the polar bear in Zoid's care and entered a secret tunnel. However, the bear escaped from Zoid and followed after its owner. And just as he was chasing after the escaped bear, Zoid happened to witness the dog pulling the murder weapon out of the body. If Zoid's testimony is correct, this video must have been taken around 9 AM. However, the timestamp is off by 3 hours.
Why would the timestamp be off like that?
Detective Gumshoe would like you to examine the security camera.
Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. I asked all the guards and, well, it seemed the camera's power was cut for a moment, throwing off the timestamp.
What?
The camera's an old model, so it loses power. So the clock stops as well.
In that case, it means the camera's power was cut for 3 hours.
While I'm at it, I got some more information for you, sir. You heard that Knightley denied stealing the key, right? Well, it seems that nobody believed the words of the criminal, but Knightley testified I was knocked out too.
That may not necessarily be a lie. Even the cameras are incompetent. Roland.
Oh yeah, that's the warden. My, there you all are.
Making progress in your investigation. Can I be of any help? Actually, Warden Roland, there is something we must report to you. The escaped prisoner, J. Elbert, is most likely still inside the prison. He has disguised himself. Here's the proof. The person visible in this security video is Elbert. So perhaps he's still in this very building.
Come to think of it, didn't Mr. Elbert have a bracelet like the other prisoners?
The bracelet would have been concealed under his uniform sleeves. Moreover, the prison main gate may not have a sensor to detect bracelets. All they would have to do is avoid any doors with the sensors inside the prison. Oh, that's right. So, if he didn't enter the cells or the workrooms, could any one of you guys be Elbert?
Aha! Rocky!
Stop it, what are you doing? It was said that Rocky has answered that question for us. No! Rocky, this is all your fault. The little guy loves you so much, it's enviable.
Right then, seize him at once.
Wait, there's something we need to must hear from this prisoner. It is necessary for to find the truth. I'd like permission to interrogate him. Understood.
What do you want out of me?
Alb's escape route is linked to Knightley's cell, so it's highly likely he knows something about the crime. I'd like you to ask about the day the body was found. I need more water. Claim the destiny. So it was you guys. You were the ones who found my secret tunnel. Took me ages to dig that. The day the body was found was the day I was planning to escape. I was in disguise. Then Rocky followed after me. It was all covered in mud. I panicked and returned to my cell. Damn. If all you guys hadn't showed up, if only Knightley hadn't died. You say you dug the tunnel. What did you use to dig it? Oh, that. Just hammers, spoons, stuff like that. I brought them from the supplier, but it was all for nothing. No need to lose your temper. As always next time. On the day of the incident, it's possible that Elbert met Knightley while he was alive. I'll have to listen to his testimony carefully. Irrelevant. Irrelevant. This is kind of irrelevant. This is more interesting. Actually, is it though? Not really right. Okay, let's see if this one is relevant. This should be relevant. When did you first realize he was following you? When I got out of the tunnel. Just like I pulled it off. Didn't you notice anything when you entered the tunnel? I wasn't there at the time. I knew he would follow me if it was around. Just a chance, I thought. Just my luck, damn it. Such harsh words. Poor Rocky. I can't help it. Today was his fault too. Just like yesterday when he was coming out to me. A polar bear that acts like a koala. Okay. You didn't consider just making a run for it. I would have could, but the mod would have given me away. And it's not like I'd get another chance at like this. So I had to proceed with caution. In the end, he was exposed by his own bear. It's possible Elbert met Knightley before he died. Maybe there's something here. Shut up. What's with that hold it, punk? You say you dug, pussy to you. You know how long it took to dig that? I bet you supply of tools day after day and save the way. Give me back my hard work. Give it back, you son of a... I can't get a word in Edgeworth. You just go around discovering people's holes. So, you did it all alone? You're damn right I did. Could a tunnel like that really be dug by one person?
Wow! Such a wasted effort!
You wouldn't understand. Never allow others. Never let others see. Those are the rules we live by in here.
Well, as a great thief, I kinda see where you're coming from.
Okay, don't agree with him.
Oh no, I was just joking.
I wasn't. Damn it. This. Did you obtain the guard's uniform from the supplier too? Yeah, that's right. Seems like he got it by threatening a guard. That guy went and stole it from someone's locker. So, when you went through the tunnel, were you already dressed like a guard? No, to ensure the clothes weren't get stained with mud and carry them with me. Once I got out of the hole and changed the clothes, getting out of cell doors would be simple. And that's when Rocky ran up and jumped. That must have been a moment missed in the security capture. I see. Could you add that to your testimony? That is strange. Because you don't have keys. Getting out of the cell was simple, you say? Yeah. Compared to going through the tunnel, it was very simple. You inhabit the prison, yet you seem to know the layout of the detention center quite well. What's wrong about that? Sure, I've been to the detention center too. In that case, you should have known about it from the very start. When Knightley was in his cell, the door was locked, which means there was a one piece of Edgeworth he needed to escape.
Objection!
You say it was simple getting through the cell door. Yeah, that's right. You got a problem with that, huh? Even though you managed to arrive at Knightley's cell, opening the door wasn't so simple. How did you intend to unlock the cell door? J. Albert, you had the key to Knightley's cell. I ain't got nothing like that. That's it, it was open. It was already unlocked when I got it. Indeed. The cell was vacant after Knightley's death, which is why at the time we conducted our investigation it was unlocked. Your successful escape attempt occurred after Knightley's death, so the door would have been open. However, had you tried to escape once before then?
The power had been fired thanks to Rocky, the video shows it.
Yes, that was during the animal show, before Knightley's death was known. And the cell door was locked because no one knew he was dead. Without the key to Knightley's cell, your escape would have been impossible.
That means it can't be.
It's exactly what you think. In the case of the stolen keys, the culprit is J. Albert. You were the one who attacked the guard, weren't you? The guard, a Knightley too, in order to steal the cell's key. It wasn't me. I didn't know any Knightley. After stealing the key, you returned to your cell as a precautionary measure. Then you waited for a time when the prison would be mostly vacant. That was just before Knightley's death became known, in other words, during the animal show. But in the end, the plan was foiled thanks to Rocky. If you don't have evidence, I still win my decision. Besides, it was a Knightley guy who attacked the guard, right? I think not. Regarding the theft of the keys, Knightley was the victim. This proves Knightley was the victim who was attacked in his cell. We have that? Yeah. This one.
Take that!
In Knightley's cell, there were traces of his blood, which have been wiped away. I believe this is more than enough proof that Knightley was attacked in his cell. You attacked those two people and stole the key, didn't you? Damn. I never thought you'd find a bloodstain away with those newspapers.
How did you go through all the trouble of wiping away the bloodstain?
On the hands of Knightley and the guard, there was obvious signs of a scuffle. The bloodstains were uncovered and I found there was another attacker. If anyone looked around the bed, the tunnel like dug would be discovered. So, you were trying to buy more time for your escape attempt. But I'm afraid to say that your plan still ended in failure. Now, hand over the key to Knightley's cell. Okay, so that's a thing. No way. How can an amateur like you knock me out? Here. I got the keys right here.
Overruled!
Overruled. Hold it. If you have that key, then that means... That's right, Judge Courtney. You reason that Knightley stole the key and used it to leave his cell. From there, he entered Mr. K's cage and was moved to the workroom. However, the very foundation of the hypothesis has collapsed. Excellent use of hypothesis. Excellent. Good work, translators. It's a hypothesis and not a theory. Great work. Because those who would translate the Capcom when they translate it would use theory here, most likely. So excellent use of hypothesis. It's important to get that right, you know? I loathe the misuse of theory. It's a hypothesis, damn it. No! See, in that case, there was only one person who could have moved Knightley. The criminal must have been someone who knew about the secret tunnel. Hey, are you suggesting? J. Albert, you're under arrest, pal! Oh, it's just fantastic, Will, and hello! Ace Attorney throwing the usual curveballs, which is amazing. And the music, oh god, the music is so good! Wait, I didn't do nothing. Double negative, friend. Sure, I knocked those two guys. I stole the keys. And after that, I waited. Actually, when I just thought, okay, yeah, I'm gonna roll with it. At that time, I entered the guy's cell. But the cell was empty then. There was no dead body either. Also, how could I have gotten into the work? I couldn't even leave my own cell, right? It's true, you only have the key to Knightley's cell. But there's also Dogen's dog. Huh? It is possible for the dog to carry the body from the cell to the work. I see. But how are you doing? Have you gotten any sleep? Or are you still rocking on plus 24 hours? So, you're saying there was an accomplice? The crime would have been possible if Albert and Dogen weren't working together. It's perfectly plausible. Somehow Albert managed to carry Knightley's body to his own cell. And then, the dog must have carried it to the workroom. Yes, because all the animals can move freely in the prison. But that's not the case with the path between the detention center and the prison. The only one who could use that route was you, J. Albert. What if there's another way you didn't know about? That couldn't have been. The tunnel was a straight path, is it not? Yeah, seems like it. I didn't have enough time to dig any more than I did. I only dug halfway up the corridor. What? You mean to say you didn't dig the entire tunnel? When I got to that cell, the tunnel was already there. There was a tunnel linking to my cell to the well. But why? Looking down the well, there's no mistaking it. They've always been connected. I just continued digging the tunnel. I just continued the tunnel with no digging. What was that hole doing there in the first place? Who knows? Maybe another inmate dug it in an attempt to escape. Or maybe the animals dug it. Maybe they wanted to drink from the well. That is highly doubtful. There's no water in that well anymore. It's all dried up. Wait a minute. That's it. For some reason, that well gave off a nice scent. A nice scent. I don't know what it was. Smells sweet, like candy. Who smells sweet like candy? I mean, Regina doesn't. Is there anyone like... Is there anything that like particularly stands out as smelling sweet? Can't remember anything of that. The scent. I believe we've come across it before. Ah, Knightley.
Take that!
Knightley's body was giving up a sweet candy-like scent. We used a police dog to track that scent, and that led us to discover the tunnel. By any chance, could this be the same scent as the well? Prosecutor Edgeworth, I know what you're trying to say. That the scent proves the body was carried down through the tunnel. Exactly, and J. Elba, you are the only one who could have used the tunnel.
Thank you, Mr. Elbert. I am very grateful to you. At last the truth comes to light. Mr. Albert, wouldn't it be wise to confess now? To being an accomplice, I mean.
Oh God, this. You know, just as I like start to tolerate that this woman, she pulls this off. Like, this is not how a judge acts. Like, she is definitely leading on here, just like, hey, you are an accomplice, right? Right, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Don't tell me, even you suspect me too. Judge Korshmi, it seems that you and I have come to the same conclusion. Okay, accomplice to what then? To murder?
Not at all. Our thoughts on this matter are still quite different. Mr. Alba was certainly an accomplice, but an accomplice to Horace Knightley.
Hold it!
What do you mean?
Mr. Alba did not move the body. He simply lent the victim his keys.
What?
It would seem Mr. Albert did indeed strike Mr. Knightley on the head. However, Mr. Knightley was not knocked out. The two must have made a little negotiation.
Negotiation?
For Mr. Knightley's escape plan to work, he would need the keys to his cell. So, Mr. Albert stole them from the guard. On the other hand, for Mr. Albert to escape, he needed to get in Mr. Knightley's cell. But if Mr. Knightley had seen him and yelled, the plan would have gone down the drain. And so, they negotiated.
I didn't negotiate nothing.
Oh, you still intend to deny it?
I see. So, in other words, we're back to where we started.
Mr. Albert opened the cell door and Mr. Knightley entered Mr. Key's cage. And then he was moved into the prison.
Of course! And then he was killed in the prison workroom.
Objection!
Weren't you listening? The scent of the body shows it must have been moved through the tunnel. Knightley was moved from the detention center through the tunnel.
Overruled!
Please wait until someone is finished before speaking. I do not claim that he wasn't moved through the tunnel. What? You don't? The scent shows the body was moved through the tunnel. However, that doesn't mean it came from the detention center. What do you mean? That sure sounds like a contradiction to me. Isn't there one more possibility? The well in the courtyard. It is possible that the body was dropped down from there. The courtyard? Aha! The well in the courtyard! Mr. Keyes carried the cage not to the workroom but to the courtyard. Mr. Knightley was killed in the courtyard and his body was dumped in the well. And then the body at the bottom of the well was moved by Dogen's dog. Now, there's one thing I'd like to all to remember. Before the body was discovered, what was happening in the courtyard? The animal show, right? Regina and Simon were there. Wait! Simon? Ah! I see you understand. Who then dropped the body down the well? Judge Courtney. She's a tough opponent. Her flexible way of thinking enables her to adapt and come up with her own deductions. That's not her job! Mr. Knightley was not carried to the court workroom but the courtyard. And Mr. Keyes was off the stage for 15 minutes. This was when he dropped Knightley down the well. It was simple as that. Judge Courtney, your reasoning is sound, I'll admit that. However, let's say the body was dropped down the well. That didn't have to have been done during the show. It could have happened at a different time. Unfortunately for you, Prosecutor Edgeworth, that is not possible. What? When the show started, Mr. Albert was in the tunnel on his way to the cell block. Mr. Albert, at the time, did you happen to see a body in the tunnel? Nope. Nothing like that. So, if the body had been dropped before the show, Mr. Albert would have seen it. However, he stated he did not see a body. So it's impossible to think that the body was dropped before the show. And after the show, the body was discovered in the workroom. In other words, the body being dropped in down the well and then moved to the workroom could only have been done during the show. And the only one who could have done it is Simon Keyes. Mr. Edgeworth, what should we do? If the body was moved through the well, that does put Mr. Keyes at a major disadvantage. However, the notion that the body was moved through the well is only a hypothesis. That doesn't mean there is evidence. I am obligated to recognize that fact. But like, if he was dropped down the well, the body would have bruises on it. Because, like, to indicate the fall. We saw this in as a possibility in AA35. No, AA34. Yeah, that is fair. There are small bruises on his head, though. So, but like being dropped down a well wouldn't like leave any small bruises depending on how it's dropped. And if the bruises were on his head because of the drop, like he would have cracked like a broken neck. Exactly. Will you allow me to investigate the courtyard once more?
I give my approval in the name of the goddess of law.
If we investigate in the courtyard, I fear this might be our final chance. Huh? What?
Fire!
Could be another prison break, pal.
Should we evacuate? Everyone please remain calm. This is just a signal at the evening meal. It's a little loud, so I can understand why you'd be surprised. It sure scared me. I'm terribly sorry. And with that, everyone, please return to your posts.
Yeah, a fire alarm is just not a single blur like that. If it's a fire alarm, you will know. Like in any official, like governmental building, those things are loud. That was just a single blast, like it's a horn, like you know, recess bell or something.
J. Albert, it's time for you to return to your room.
If you are unsure if a fire alarm is an actual fire alarm, it's a bad fire alarm. And I have had my fair share of those. When I was living in Narvik, there was like one of the malls that had a terrible fire alarm. Because it didn't sound like a conventional fire alarm. It was just this weird sound. And we were just like, what's going on? I was like, this is a sound? Like, what?
Warden Roland, we will be proceeding to the courtyard for another investigation. Is it time for you to go home as well, Mr. Edgeworth? Looks like we're out of time. Why did you continue another time? That is suspicious. The investigation. Today's been a big day, right? With the escaped prisoner and all. I'm afraid I can't get excited like you loiter around any longer. This is my decision as the warden of this prison. Looks like it can't be helped. The warden's word can be called the law of the prison.
Yeah, fur coat, pretty sus. This is pretty sus.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, this means we have to carry out our investigation another day. Until then, you may hold on to your prosecutor's badge. And with that, I leave you. Now I think it's time for you all left.
Well, this looks like we'll have to continue the investigation tomorrow. Knightley's body was dropped down the well and carried to the workroom from Mr. Albert's cell. This is Judge Courtney's logic, but is it correct? And Judge Courtney claims that Mr. Keyes transported him, but Mr. Keyes is really the only one who could have the chance to move him.
Mr. Edgeworth, let's do our best tomorrow. We have to save Simon, no matter what.
Indeed, I agree. I must prove Mr. Keyes innocent without fail. So, to my experience, it's gonna save.